From control to compassion, a tale of love, transformation, and second chances. Welcome to Life Tells Stories, where we bring you heartfelt and inspiring tales that touch the core of human emotions. Today's story revolves around a millionaire's surprising journey from control to compassion, and how an unlikely connection with a homeless woman reshaped his entire world. What would you do if life offered you a chance to rewrite your story through the most unexpected circumstances? Stick with us to discover a tale of love, transformation, and second chances that will leave you speechless. If you're captivated by these types of life-changing stories, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more powerful narratives that inspire and heal. Let's dive into this extraordinary journey. Ethan Clark seemed to have it all: money, power, and a reputation as one of the most successful businessmen in the city. Behind the walls of his sprawling mansion and high-profile lifestyle, however, Ethan carried a secret, an emptiness that his wealth couldn't fill. Despite his success, Ethan felt his life was incomplete. He longed for something more enduring, more personal, and heir to carry on his legacy. Ethan had tried to find fulfillment through love, but 2 failed marriages left him disillusioned. He had come to see relationships as a source of instability and emotional chaos. Rather than seeking companionship, he devised a plan to secure what he wanted most without the entanglements of love or trust. Ethan was determined to have a child, not through the traditional path, but through a calculated, transactional arrangement. Love is a distraction, Ethan often told himself. Control is what keeps life on track. Little did he know, his life was about to take a turn that no amount of planning could prepare him for. Driving through the bustling streets of the city one morning, Ethan's thoughts were consumed by his search for the perfect candidate to fulfill this plan. As his luxury car paused at a red light, his gaze fell upon a young woman sitting on the sidewalk. Her name was Mia Carter. Mia's life had been a series of harsh twists and turns. Once a promising art student, she had lost everything after a series of personal tragedies. Now homeless, she spent her days sketching on scraps of paper as a way to escape her harsh reality. Her disheveled appearance and worn-out clothes rendered her invisible to most passersby, but there was something in her expression, a mix of resilience and vulnerability, that caught Ethan's attention. For reasons he couldn't explain, Ethan found himself turning his car around. When he approached her, his tone was direct and businesslike. "I have a proposal for you," he said, his eyes cold but his words deliberate. Mia, skeptical and wary, hesitated, but the weight of her circumstances compelled her to listen. Ethan wasted no time explaining his proposal. He offered Mia financial security and a chance to escape her harsh reality. In exchange, she would carry his child. The terms were laid out clearly. Her medical expenses and living costs would be covered, and she would receive a significant sum of money after the child was born. There would be no emotional involvement, no complications. Mia's initial reaction was shock. "You want me to have your baby?" she asked, incredulous. The idea felt absurd, but Ethan's confidence and the desperation of her own situation made her pause. "You have 24 hours to decide," Ethan said, sliding a detailed contract across the table. That night, as Mia tried to sleep on the cold pavement, the weight of Ethan's proposal consumed her. She knew the decision would change her life forever. By morning, she returned to accept the offer, signing the contract with trembling hands and a heart full of uncertainty. Moving into Ethan's mansion was like stepping into another world for Mia. The sprawling estate, with its marble floors and glittering chandeliers, was a stark contrast to the streets she had called home. She now had a warm bed, gourmet meals, and access to medical care. But despite the comfort, Mia couldn't shake the feeling of being out of place. Ethan maintained a distant and detached demeanor, treating Mia as part of a business arrangement rather than a human being. This only heightened her sense of isolation. She struggled with her role in the agreement, feeling like a mere vessel for someone else's ambitions. Each night, as she lay in her luxurious bed, Mia wondered if she had made the right choice. She was grateful for the opportunity to escape her hardships, but the emotional toll of carrying a child she might never hold began to weigh heavily on her. During a routine checkup, the doctor delivered unexpected news. Mia was carrying twins. Both she and Ethan were stunned. For Ethan, the revelation felt like a windfall, 2 heirs instead of 1. For Mia, it was overwhelming. The thought of nurturing not 1 but 2 lives filled her with conflicting emotions. Hearing the steady heartbeats of the twins during the ultrasound was a turning point for both of them. Ethan, who had approached the arrangement with a cold, clinical mindset, felt a flicker of something deeper. Mia, meanwhile, felt an undeniable connection to the lives growing inside her, a connection that made her question whether she could truly give them up. As the months passed, Ethan's rigid facade began to crack. Small gestures hinted at a softer side. He arranged for Mia to have everything she needed, from prenatal yoga classes to art supplies after learning about her love for drawing. He even started asking her about her feelings and well-being. For Mia, these small acts of kindness felt like glimpses into a different Ethan, a man capable of genuine care. They began to share conversations that went beyond the surface. For the first time, Mia saw that beneath Ethan's cold exterior was a man searching for something he couldn't name. Despite her initial distrust, she started to feel a growing bond with him. What do you think of Ethan's actions so far? Would you trust him? Comment below and share your thoughts. The day Mia went into labor was a whirlwind. Ethan stayed by her side throughout, holding her hand as she endured the pain. When the twins were born, a boy and a girl, the room was filled with emotion. For Ethan, seeing his children for the first time was transformative. As he held them, his carefully constructed walls began to crumble. For the first time in years, he felt something beyond control. Pure, unfiltered love. Mia, holding the babies close, knew she could never sever the bond she felt with them. The moment changed them both in ways they hadn't anticipated. On the day Mia was supposed to leave, Ethan surprised her. Standing in the grand foyer with the contract in hand, he looked at her with an intensity she had never seen before. Instead of enforcing the agreement, he tore the contract to pieces. "I don't want you to go," he said, his voice thick with emotion. "Not just because of the twins, but because you've changed my life in ways I can't explain." Mia, overwhelmed, hesitated. Could she trust this change? Could she believe that Ethan's feelings were real? Her heart battled her fears, and Ethan's vulnerability began to break through her defenses. In that moment, she realized this wasn't just about the twins. It was about them. Ethan and Mia chose to stay together, not as part of a business arrangement, but as a family. Their relationship blossomed as they navigated the challenges of parenthood. Ethan, who once prided himself on control, embraced the unpredictability of love and fatherhood. Mia, who had spent years feeling discarded, finally found a place where she belonged. They married in an intimate ceremony, with the twins as the heart of their celebration. Life wasn't perfect, but together they created a home filled with love, trust, and hope. Years later, Ethan and Mia sat in the garden, watching their twins play on the soft grass. The laughter of their children filled the air, a reminder of how far they had come. Ethan turned to Mia and said, "I never thought I could be this happy. You gave me more than I ever knew I needed." Mia smiled, tears welling in her eyes. "And you showed me that love and trust can grow even in the hardest circumstances." Together, they had built something extraordinary, a life filled with purpose, love, and redemption. This story reminds us that life's most meaningful connections often come from the most unexpected places. Ethan and Mia's journey from a transactional arrangement to a loving family proves that love and transformation can transcend even the coldest barriers. What did you think of Ethan and Mia's story? Share your thoughts in the comments below, And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Life Tells Stories for more touching narratives that remind us of the power of change and hope. Thank you for joining us today. Until next time, keep believing in second chances and the beauty of human connection. Goodbye for now.